All right, guys. All right, guys. We should be live here on Instagram and YouTube and everywhere else. Let me just confirm a few things and we'll be on our way, guys. Okay. I don't think we're going to have to go to subscriber only mode, so we'll hold off on that for now. Let me adjust that real quick. All right. So we've got Iran. Let me go live here. Okay. So we're going to skip on Instagram. All right. So we got Minneapolis. They just had a shooting in Minneapolis. And let me verify something really quick. And they should have a press conference really soon on that. AJ, what's up, bud? Today I'm doing a horizontal live stream, so it's going to be a little bit different, but good to have you. Good to have you. And yeah, let me actually go here as well. Okay. Yep, you're absolutely right. There's a lot going on right now in Minneapolis. They are going nuts in Minneapolis right now. And just want to verify a few things because we should be having a live press conference from Minneapolis already like a few minutes ago. So we're waiting for that. There's been some activity. There's been some tear gas and some other types of gas. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's been some things going on. I'm going to cut over to Iran in a little bit. There's quite a few things developing there. We're seeing a lot of activity. We got ships moving closer to the Middle East. There's a lot going on everywhere, bro. Exactly. That's exactly right. And let me take a look at something else here. Okay. Okay, so stream's looking good. My volume is looking good. Video is looking good. Let me just make sure we don't miss this live stream here where they give us the press briefing. By the way, guys, I'm going to be going live tomorrow with her, the person you see on your screen now, Mahta. She's a Persian Iranian singer, and she's in Europe, but she does go all over the world. Wonderful person. Had a great conversation with her today, and we'll be connecting with her live tomorrow. So we're going to be doing an interview or like a kind of a discussion together. And this is her page, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. Have her on here tomorrow, and that will be at 10 a.m. I believe 10 a.m. tomorrow, California time. So let's go back and make sure we don't miss this press briefing. All right. What's up? What's up, man? What's up, Jose? We're gonna have it's today. Min, you can see I'm doing the horizontal, and so it's not going to be as nuts as it typically is with our vertical, with all those people jumping in. So we're gonna have a little fun today. We're gonna keep it a little more intimate on a vertical stream here, and I'm not gonna put subscriber mode yet, but you can pay attention better. There you go. There you go. Good. Good. I like the sound of that. What's up, Jennifer? Yes, I had the horizontal down, and I want to do horizontal. Believe me, it's way better for me too, because I got all this real estate to play around with, and I got a couple of great views. I got this view. I got this view right here, which gets even bigger if I go like this. I can even show you more of what I got going on right here. So I got a couple of different views. You can see my fish tank even right here, which I got my guppies in, and my bite babies, and I got some other guppies and all kinds of fish in there. But we'll go back. I got this big full screen view. So this is a lot more fun. A lot more I can play around with. You're able to hear my sound, right? Okay, so you're not getting this sound either? Okay. All right, so let me make sure we get this sound.
Where the crowds aren't really moving a whole lot. So they are making way for some vehicles that are coming in. And so we'll, we have crews out there. We'll only go to them when it's safe to talk with them, and they're in a good place. They've had to endure a lot
of people back away from that crime scene, which we presume an investigation is already underway there. And in an effort to protect that crime scene, they have set up a perimeter with police barrier tape, and that's what they're trying to protect, really from 4 different sides.
Right.
And so our cameras are set up in as many of those as we can muster, and the crowd is trying to get as close as they can to those crime scene tapes or police tapes, and that's been the back and forth now for going on 3 hours.
And there will be some questions about the investigation itself. Last week, there was an initial announcement that the FBI and BCA would be working together on an investigation into the death of Renee Good. But then the next day, we were told that the FBI would be working on this solely without the BCA. Our state officials have said they want the BCA involved for transparency. And so this is a question that we'll ask tonight, too. Who's handling the investigation? How will we get information about what happened? And, to your point about rumors, it takes time to get information. It just does. But in the day and age of social media, all that time that we're all waiting to get accurate information, a lot of rumors can circulate quickly, spread quickly. Even videos that have nothing to do sometimes with a scene can circulate quickly. It's just the nature of what we are living in today.
Now I see there in the center of your...
So I just wanted to put that up on the screen real quick. I guess now one of the things, one of the good pieces to come out of this Renee Good thing is, I guess, white lives matter again. So here we go.
Right side of your screen, that the perimeter tape is being torn down. It appears to me that if that's the case, that the ICE...
Jose Gonzalez says, my wife lost communication with her parents in Iran. They shut down everything. They have shut down everything for quite a while. And Jose, from what I understand, I know that Persian, we're not able to reach out to them. They're able to reach out to us. So that's what we've heard, but we'll see how that goes. It's been a disaster, bro. We've heard a lot of horrible things coming out of Iran right now, man. It's horrible. We're hoping that help is on the way and it comes sooner than later.
They'll be getting a number of people together, and we know that the mayor and the police chief will be speaking, but we don't know if there will be other local officials, state.
You're exactly right, Min. From what I've heard, the guy attacked with a shovel, and there was a couple of people, and they barricaded themselves. It's quite the fiasco that they had going on out there. It was pretty nuts, but we're going to find out soon. The only issue is when we get these briefings from Minneapolis, you know, the mayors and the chief, the police and all these guys, unfortunately, they're totally against ICE. So it's a total shit show whenever they do come give us a press briefing. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, aquariums, bro. I'm horizontal, baby. Is it better for everyone? Everyone loves this or what? Yes, Jose, we're all praying, bro, that everyone's okay in Iran, bro, and hopefully your wife's family is okay as well.
All right, we're watching live coverage from our partners at Fox 9 in Minneapolis. We want to take you to City Hall, where city officials are giving an update on another ICE-involved shooting there in Minneapolis. Let's listen live.
On the limited amount that we know thus far, and then I will provide some comments thereafter. Chief.
My name is Brian O'Hara, BRIANO''HARA. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. At 6:51 p.m., Minneapolis police received a 911 call reporting a shooting on the 600 block of 24 Avenue North. Preliminary information indicates that there was a struggle with a federal agent in front of the resident. During the struggle, the federal agent discharged his weapon, striking one adult male. The adult male then retreated inside of the residence, where he remained inside and refused to come out. Eventually, federal agents made entry into the residence, and the individual was brought to an ambulance where he has been transported to the hospital. Minneapolis police have secured the crime scene around the location, and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, as well as the FBI, are on the scene processing the evidence. There's a crowd gathered in the area, and we have called for mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and Hennepin County Sheriff. The crowd is engaging in unlawful acts. They have thrown fireworks at police officers, and at multiple times, gas has been deployed. Police are attempting to disperse this unlawful assembly at this time. I urge anyone that is at the scene to leave immediately. This is already a very tense situation, and we do not need this to escalate any further. I have faith that the investigators are involved will follow every lead in this case and ensure it is completed to its logical conclusion.
There's still a lot that we don't know at this time, but what I can tell you for certain is that this is not sustainable. This is an impossible situation that our city is presently being put in. And at the same time, we are trying to find a way forward, to keep people safe, to protect our neighbors, to maintain order. And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors. We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have two governmental entities that are literally fighting one another. Why are we put in this position? We're put in this position because
You're put in this position because you put yourself in this position. Nobody is really fighting you. You're the one fighting ICE. That's why you're in this position, dumbass.
because we have approximately 600 police officers in Minneapolis, far fewer that are able to work at any given time. And there are approximately 3,000 ICE agents in the area. 3,000. The 600 police officers that we have are charged on any given day with investigating crime, stopping homicides from taking place, preventing carjackings. That's the work of a police officer in a city. Meanwhile, we have ICE agents throughout our city and throughout our state who, along with Border Control, are creating chaos. This is not the path that we should be on right now in America. Thankfully, there's another path. And I want to talk.
Yeah, this is not the path you want to be on. You want to be on stage dancing to, I don't know, some kind of Ethiopian music or whatever the hell it is that you're looking to do. I don't know what you're looking at. This guy is absolutely out of his mind.
Talk to everybody who's out there, even people who aren't living in Minneapolis right now. Maybe you just put your kids to bed. Maybe you're cleaning up the dishes. I'm sure you love your family. There's no doubt in my mind that you love your town. Imagine if that city or that town was suddenly invaded by thousands of federal agents that do not share the values that you hold dear. Imagine if your daily routines were disrupted. The local cafe that you eat at was shut down because they're scared that their own family might get torn apart. Imagine if schools shut down and suddenly parents got to figure out what to do for daycare.
Totally understandable, man. This dude is hard to listen to. What up, Quantum Ice?
This is not creating safety. It's certainly not creating safety when a huge percentage of the shootings that have taken place so far this year in Minneapolis have been by ICE. So let's be very clear. I've seen conduct from ICE that is disgusting and is intolerable. If it were your city, it would be unacceptable there too. And for anyone that is taking the bait tonight, stop. That is not helpful. Go home. We cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos. And I have seen thousands of people throughout our city peacefully protesting. For those that have peacefully protested, I applaud you. For those that are taking the bait, you are not helping, and you are not helping the undocumented immigrants in our city.
Actually, you're not helping, and the undocumented immigrants in your city are not helping, and you've been scamming everyone out of all their money, and you're a complete clown. And what Jose said is true. There's no more. Your money is running out. The fraud is done. You're getting cut off. You're upset. Your AG is upset, and your AG was getting money too, bro. You guys are pissed, and we get it. But that's your fault, not ours, not ICE. And what up, Random? How you doing, bro? Good to have you back. And you came on the day I did a horizontal stream, bro. Here we go. What's up, dude?
You are not helping the people that call this place home.
How's your wife, bro? Random, how you doing? How's everything going, bro? You all right? You're doing better now?
ICE can leave, and this massive deployment can come to an end. We have filed litigation to hopefully make it so, and at the same time, I'm deeply concerned that we don't have that kind of time. This is already the second shooting that we've had in a week. People are scared. The atmosphere is tense, but again, there is another option. we can stop going down this route together. We'll open it to any questions.
I just wanted to see if you might be able to clear up some of the rumors that are circulating on social media that a freshman and possibly a 12-year-old boy were involved in this. Is that true or not true at all?
So there were reports initially that there was more than one person shot. That is not true. There is one person that's been shot. It is a non-life-threatening injury, and they have been transported to the hospital. The remainder of the residents has been cleared. We did have one call of, I believe, a woman having an anxiety attack in the basement of the same residence, the same building. But to my understanding, no one else has been transported to the hospital.
And no children involved in this?
To my understanding, no.
DHS has said that 2 other people came out of an apartment and started attacking the officer with shovels, and that the original person that they were looking for also did that. What has your investigation told you so far?
So the question was that people had come out of the residence and attacked federal law enforcement with shovels. The understanding that we have at this time is that this incident began on 94. The individual drove towards the residence, had some sort of accident outside the residence, ran towards the house, and got into a struggle with federal law enforcement. I believe there's a broom and like a snow shovel that's on the scene. And yes, I have heard information that that some individual, at least one person, may have assaulted federal law enforcement. Yes. I am not aware if that's the same person who was shot or if that's someone else.
Will MPD be doing its own investigation of what happened?
The question was, will MPD be doing an investigation of what happened? I requested the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Investigation, Criminal Apprehension to respond, and they are on scene.
And you were saying that there was unlawful protesting that happened. Can you be a little bit more specific?
The question was about unlawful protesting. It has absolutely become an unlawful assembly. There are individuals throwing fireworks at police officers, individuals throwing ice, rocks, other projectiles at police officers. It is well past the line, and people need to leave.
What kind of communication, if any, of you have with federal law enforcement tonight?
Okay, so there you go. This guy is telling them to leave, and it's unlawful, and so they need to stop what they're doing.
It was communication with federal law enforcement tonight. That communication was all on the scene. It was primarily related to trying to ensure that we were getting medical aid because we had a report of a shooting, and then also to try and ensure that we could maintain the integrity of the crime scene so that there could be an investigation into what occurred.
Do you know what the condition of the person shot is? And we're also told that agent was injured and taken to the hospital. Do you have any updates on either condition?
I have no updates on either condition. It's my understanding that this is a non-life-threatening gunshot wound.
Can you talk about anything you know about that initial stop that started on 94, that initial chase, if you will, and anything you know about the person that they were following?
So I know nothing about the person that they were following. And then the rest of the question was about the initial chase. It's my understanding that we have some other 911 call indicating that someone from the house was calling, saying that the person in the car was running from ICE. I was driving towards the residence. That's my understanding.
Could Mayor Fry respond to criticism that local officials are contributing to rising rhetoric, and that's part of the reason why we're seeing aggressive protesters behaving?
What rhetoric? So the question was, can I respond to rhetoric? What rhetoric?
Says that there's rhetoric from local officials that they say has just kind of taken up the temperature of everything that's going on in Minneapolis.
Yeah, the DHS is. She's asking about DHS and the local officials who are raising the temperature with their rhetoric, and of course, they're talking about people like this guy right here that's on your screen being asked that question.
So the question was, there has been the accusation that local officials have perhaps taken up the temperature in Minneapolis. First, I'll say, show me a single place where I have encouraged anything other than peace. Show me a single place where we have encouraged violence. I have said from the get-go to people in Minneapolis, do not take the bait. We are better than that. I have encouraged peaceful protest, and I'll say it again, I am inspired by the tens of thousands of people who have in fact peacefully protested and
Let me guess, you're inspired by the illegal immigrants. You're inspired by the undocumented immigration into your state. You're inspired by the fraud that's taken place in your state. You're inspired by the people that are going against ICE, attacking ICE.
fairly documented with transparency what is taking place. That is allowed in any city in the country. And I have made it clear that to the extent people are going beyond that, and those protests are not peaceful, and the violence that the chief mentioned, it's got to stop, and you got to go home.
Two more questions.
If this situation is not sustainable, as you said a few minutes ago, where do you go from here? What options do you as mayor have from this point forward?
Yeah. So just yesterday or the day before, I'm losing track of the days here, Minneapolis, along with St. Paul and the Attorney General's office at the state, filed a lawsuit. That lawsuit outlined the duress that our city is presently experiencing and how making people safe in our city is made all the more difficult based on the presence of ICE. We are hopeful that we will succeed ultimately in that lawsuit. Of course, my concern is that yet another shooting will take place. Yet another person will be injured or killed. This is not a new concern. The chief and I have been laying this concern out for well over a month at this point. This is not sustainable. Our officers, they are working tirelessly. Again, we have about 600 officers. There's about 3,000 ICE agents in border control. We need our officers responding to the basic day-to-day 911 calls. We don't have the capacity to both deal with that and all of this conduct that we're seeing from ICE on the daily basis. You know, earlier today and yesterday, I was out on a couple of major commercial corridors in our city. People are scared. You know, there's basic rights that you should have to be able to live safely in your neighborhood, to be able to go downstairs and head to the cafe or the flower shop. The people that would normally keep up these shops, American citizens, by the way, many of them, are terrified. Because American citizens are getting picked up off the street by people in masks. That's not the way things should be conducted in any city in America. That's not who we are. That's not America. So I'm calling for peace. Everybody has a role in achieving that peace. And we're going to try to do everything that we can to keep it. Yes, our office, yes, is in touch with the governor's office, as we've been for the last week here. He has been an excellent partner in both ensuring that we have additional resources through the Minnesota State Patrol, through the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, and that work will be done in partnership. Thanks, everybody.
We'll have more information tomorrow that we'll put out. Thank you.
We were just listening into a press conference with officials in Minneapolis after another ICE-involved shooting there exactly a week after 37-year-old Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE officer. That happened just about 5 miles away from this scene tonight. We've been covering this all night for you. We want to bring you, of course, the latest here. So let's go back to our partners at Fox 9 in Minneapolis. They're continuing their live coverage there on the scene again of another ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis tonight. The crowd seems to still be there, continuing to protest. Let's listen in.
Attacking the ICE officer as well. Those two people, we've been told by DHS, are in custody. But as a result of all that played out at 7 o'clock tonight, there is this big crime scene. And you just heard MPD and the mayor talking about how they've been trying to preserve the integrity of the crime scene, how they have Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, the FBI investigating.
Guys, let me read to you exactly what went down. So here's what happened. I'm going to read it out loud, and it's on your screen now. It says this despicably misleading headline is exactly why they're here are the facts. At 6:50 p.m., law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up with the suspect on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, two subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the two individuals, the original suspect got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by three individuals, the officer fired a defensive shot to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. That's what happened.
On the scene, and again,
so it was a traffic stop. Let me go into, since I got this new horizontal thing and it's just the intimate 9 of us or 10 of us right now. Let's go to this other. I got another this one right here. So what happened? Does this sound work? Yeah, my sound's coming through. So it was a traffic stop and the guy starts fighting back, or starts fighting the officer. Then two guys come out of an apartment building. They start attacking the officer. Now it's a 3-on-1. And the officer, being that it's a 3-on-1, and he's probably getting kind of, overrun, he pulls out his weapon, fires a shot, hits the original guy in the leg. All three of them book it, take off, and go barricade themselves in an apartment. And we kind of skip through some of that, and it gets to the part where the subject that was shot, the suspect that was shot, and the officer are in the hospital, and the other two are in custody. And that's what happened. Let's go back to this.
And he says, I have continued to ask people to stay calm and that we can't get through this essentially without calm. And so we did see some chaos out at the scene there tonight with the groups that were gathering. We're trying to get a sense now of the scene. We do have an aerial shot that's back up, and just how we're trying to get a sense of how busy this neighborhood still is, or if people have sort of dispersed at this point.
And we are hearing it's dicey on the scene right now. We are trying to get our reporters back in position, but I'm going to be really honest with our viewers right now. It's not a good situation for reporters there at this hour, despite the calls for peace, the calls for people to go home. Not sure if those calls have even reached the crowd yet. Probably not. In fact, this is an opportunity for them. Police have left the area, we're told. ICE agents we saw earlier were backing down, which is normal. They usually try to leave the scene as soon as possible. That does generally help in many cases, but it's just not a good scene out there. Back up with Skyfox 9 above the scene. It's hard to say. These things have a life of their own sometimes, so breaking up a crowd like...
Sorry, bro, I had to put her back on, man. That is just a wacky lady there, and one that had a lot of issues going on. And I'll just say this. In America, if you're a woman who a judge finds to be such a mess that the judge awards the father of the children full custody of your children, the father of the children full custody, that says a lot. That says a lot. AJ says you're gonna make my eyes bleed. Yeah, bro. That says a lot, bro. So she had some issues, major issues going on. And she had a husband, had some kids, did whatever things that she did wrong to give up full custody of her kids to the father of the kids, moved to Canada, I think because she's so mad at Donald Trump, and then gets married to a woman, then decides she wants to be a vigilante or something. I don't know what they call these people anymore. And attack ICE and hinder ICE and get in the line of fire eventually. And Jose is correct. She hit ICE with a vehicle. Let's see what this.
A bit ago, I was getting constituent calls that there was a shooting in North Minneapolis, and it's not, I come to these things. I got over here and I realized that it was ICE involved, and so I've been here now. The tear gas is out here. Everyone's running and scared because that's some powerful stuff.
When you got here, what initially did you see and what was happening when you arrived?
When I got here, they were saying they were trying to get someone out of the house, that there's a house on this block that someone had been shot in, and they were trying to get them out.
I know the city had released or tweeted a statement saying that,
Yeah, I said she got in the line of fire. What I meant is she created a line. She basically created a situation. She hit a guy. She hit law enforcement officer, ICE officer with her vehicle to the point where he had internal bleeding, I think in his hip or his leg, and she literally gassed it with the guy in front of her car, and that's using your vehicle as a deadly weapon. And it's just wild that people are doing these kinds of things and putting themselves in those types of situation. It's absolute retard mentality, in my opinion. Min says internal bleeding usually means an organ, probably his spleen. Wow. And then the dumbass mayor or whatever that guy, whoever that guy was, got up and said that, oh, she barely even hit the guy. It's just who knows if he's even injured. Actually, the guy said he's not even injured. It's almost like as if you bump yourself with your refrigerator door. That's what the guy said, something along those lines. And come to find out, the guy literally got internal bleeding. So that was wrong. The guy that came out and gaslighted the whole country was wrong. I'd like to find that video and play that video. We've all seen the video of her trying to hit the guy. So she wasn't, there's a cop in front of her vehicle. You're being told to stop the vehicle. You're being told to get out of the vehicle. You're not complying. You're not listening to orders. And there's an officer in front of your vehicle. And when you hit the gas, your vehicle is now a deadly weapon. And law enforcement officers get killed all the time by maneuvers like that. And it's not a game. It's not something to mess around with. It really is not. So you can call it what you want, Elise, whatever your name is, but they had no lawful grounds to arrest her. Yeah, they sure did. As a person that was involved with law enforcement, on the law enforcement side myself, yes, she had grounds. I can tell you that she had grounds. They had grounds they stopped her, and they had grounds to give her orders to stop the vehicle and get out of the vehicle. Yep, that's what they told her to do, and she did not do that. That's a problem. When they give you orders, you listen to the orders. It's not very hard to do. It's not very hard to do. And that's basic common sense, just as a citizen, a human, a normal operating person. When law enforcement gives you orders, you listen to those orders. And when there's a law enforcement officer in front of your vehicle, you don't hit the gas pedal. That's not how that works. So if you think it's obvious that Elise does not have common sense, and that's okay. We are well aware that there's a large percentage of people in our country at this moment that have no common sense, and you've displayed that very clearly to all of us.
Person involved, the person who was pulled over said, "This is what happened to me." I would say the exact same thing. I would say, you know what? I don't know. Well, we have to wait until it gets investigated. Oftentimes with these incidents, there's two very different stories.
Her and her wife were doing everything they could to get those views on the gram. And they were very much going out of their way to impede the operations of those law enforcement officers. That's a problem. Again, that's retard mentality.
Thank you, Vincent Hawkison.
So now I'm going to go through Instagram really quick because there are a lot of things coming out of this Iran situation that I want to take a look at, and I want to get an update myself, and I'm going to also take a look and see what else is going on. So let's take a look now. Let's go here and let's do a refresh. By the way, guys, again, if you're just, I want to play this as well. If you're just joining us right now, tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'm going to be doing a live stream with Mata. This is her. She's Persian. She's a singer. She's currently in Europe. She travels the world and puts on concerts and is again, she's an up and coming star, and we're gonna have a conversation with her today. She lost her Instagram for a little while and recently got it back. I think because she's been outspoken about Iran. And here's a video she just did where she goes off on the surrounding Arab countries that are not doing a single thing to help the Iranians that are getting massacred in those peaceful protests.
زود برم ببخشید من دیشب نخوابیدم کلا اصلا سیستم همه چیم ریخته به هم داغونه.
She said, sorry, I haven't slept at all last night. My mind and everything, my whole system, my body is like completely off right now because of what's going on.
داغونم. اومدم ایستو بگم عربستان سعودی، کشورهای عربی، دبی، قطر،
Dubai, Qatar, all these Arab countries.
به شما گوخوری مملکت ما نیومده، گوه مملکت ما رو نخورید. حرومزاده های ولد زنای ملخ خور. شما چی واسه عرضه کردن دارید؟ بله جمهوری اسلامی اگه بره به نفع شما نیست، یه عمری دارید شکماتون رو سیر میکنید.
She's saying, yes, you're benefiting from the Islamic regime that is suppressing the entire country of Iran, and it's obvious, and you've been benefiting from it for the last 47 years. Look at Dubai. You guys all know Dubai. Dubai has been heavily benefiting from Iran being oppressed, and so it's just a crazy... it's a crazy moment. I put it on for you guys, but I know you don't understand it. But in short, she's just telling them that she's done with these Arab countries that are not helping. That's what her message is.
Just go away. Let us determine what we want, and we already decided. We want King Reza Pahlavi. 90 million.
If the president yesterday said we're done with the negotiations, we're done with talking about all this other stuff, you're either stopping this or we have to intervene. And I think that's kind of where we're at. So if you want to kind of put it in a nutshell, what I think.
I want to play something for you guys that is very interesting because it's the Shah of Iran. First of all, I want to play this because this is just here is another. Here is another.
Said a moment ago that science and evidence should.
This is, again, when we talk about retard mentality, this is what we're talking about. So let me just put this up here real quick.
Control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
can men get pregnant?
Many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying.
Let me just remind you. You testified to a moment.
Again, as I'm saying. Bro, what are we? How? Bro, this is wild.
Science and evidence should control, not politics. So, can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men. Can they get pregnant?
He even cleared it up. He said biological men.
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
no, yes/no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. You know, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length on this question. This is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical. It affects real people in their real lives. And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert, and you've been telling us that you follow, right, you're a doctor. And you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
this is extraordinary.
Male with
no, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
What you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
Wow.
I'm more than happy to have.
Wow, this is painful, bro. This is funny. Kinda. It's idiotic. And again, we're back to that retard mentality. This is imagine, bro, we're in 2026 in America and you're there in front of a congressman and you're a doctor, and you're asked if biological men can get pregnant. This is mind-blowing.
A conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask. I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men.
Wow. Here's another thing that I wanted you guys to see. Okay. So you guys know in Iran, there is an Ayatollah Khamenei who is the supreme leader of the Islamic regime. And I'm saying it slowly and clearly like that so I can make sure you understand what I'm saying, because it's important, these words that I'm using, because he's the supreme leader of the Islamic regime, and he is forcing people in Iran to live under Sharia law and puts them in prison or murders them if they don't follow Sharia law. Now, here is his daughter, but other people that he knows and her family and friends partying and doing everything that is the opposite of Sharia law. The supreme leader's daughter and friends on a yacht living their best life while her dad is torturing and massacring people in Iran. Mind you, in Iran, they can't show their hair as women, which they're pushing it now to show more hair, and they're not caring as much. And the government is doing their best to crack down, but they kind of can't anymore because all women are doing it. But look at her in a bikini, living it up. And you can't, this screen here, let me see if I can fix this screen a little bit. How can I make an adjustment here? Now you can kind of see it. Yeah, there you go. Drinking alcohol, which is totally illegal. Dressing up in a bikini, which is totally illegal. Having her hair showing, which again will get you jailed or imprisoned or stoned or whatever it is, extreme shit that they do. So there you have that. I just wanted you guys to see that because the hypocrisy is just it's beyond belief. So there's that. Now, I also wanted to run through and show you what the Pahlavi, Shah Reza Pahlavi was saying. Let me find it here for you guys, because this is important. The guy says what he's going to do after the Iranian people are free from the government and what that looks like once that takes place. So let me just pull that up really quick in here. Oh man, where are we going here? Why does this have to be? There we go. Okay, so
the yoke of the Islamic Republic. Iran is identified friends around the world. Under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act towards its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately.
There you have it. Nuclear programs will end. Support of terrorists, which is very much happening right now under the Islamic Republic of Iran. That government is funding, supporting, and training terrorists around the globe.
A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The State of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world.
Good night, Min. Good to have you. Thanks for hanging out with us. And what's up, you cats? And what's up, Louie? Good to have you guys. Guys, we're doing a horizontal live, and it's when we do this, it's a little more intimate. I do the vertical lives. It's got lots of viewership. You see, we get into the thousands. But with this horizontal, it's a little bit more intimate. And it'll grow if I just keep doing more. What's up, Where One?
A new chapter
What's up,
will
guys?
begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policymaking will be transparent.
Quantum Ice, what's up, buddy? Good looking out on that. I did not stream on IG this time, but I am on Twitch and Rumble.
Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time.
We are one. Good looking out, bro. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that.
Time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership.
Definitely everyone is on the same page with Iran becoming or helping well, let me just make it easier. So Iran's government, if it changes, it'll make for a much more peaceful Middle East and Earth altogether. And everyone's aware of that. Everyone knows that. Everyone's on board. Nobody disagrees with that. Almost nobody will disagree with that. Now, the discussion that I have sometimes, now let me play this really quick, and then I'll tell you about about the lefties that and what they have to say about some of the stuff.
Thank you so much for all your words of support for my compatriots in the darkest time in our history, but hopefully, as we say in Iran, in Farsi, the end of the dark night is light, and this is probably the first time we are so close to victory. You've witnessed the resilience of my compatriots. They are fighting a brave fight, and any solidarity can only help them achieve that goal sooner. I've been committed to this all my life to serve my nation, and hopefully, as the senator just said, we hope that the Iranian people will this time have complete freedom and the choice will be theirs. We are here to serve them, to make that choice in freedom, and that's what my commitment. And thank you for your support, Senator.
Thank you. And President Trump, thank you for picking the people over the Ayatollah. You're the first one to do that.
President Trump, thank you for picking the people of Iran over the Ayatollah time and time again, not just throughout all of the unrest and throughout all of their cries for help. They are getting slaughtered in Iran as we speak, and it's just a disaster. But there is, this is, all of us Iranians, Persians that are watching and that have seen these uprisings throughout all of these years. This uprising, this protest is now a revolution, and it is one that is bigger than any of them have ever been. And it's one where we are now for the first time ever confident that Iran will be free. And definitely now that we got State Line in the chat, that's going to help us push it over the edge. What's up, bro? Good to have you, man.
Thank you for acknowledging that the only way you can make Iran great again is for the protesters to win over the regime. And I believe that day is at hand. And to the American people, it matters to us. This is the largest state sponsor of terrorism on the planet. They have American blood on their hands. And the people protesting in the streets could be our best friends. God bless them.
God bless the United States of America and the American friends, and God bless the Iranian people.
Amen.
Phenomenal. Guys, I want to
Senator Lindsey Graham.
This is the airspace above Iran right now. And I mean, it's not right at this second, but I'm going to pull this up. So flight radar. Let me see if it's something that I can pull up right now. Flight radar. Let's take a look at what the hell? All right. Do not share my information. All right. Let's close this up. Oh my goodness. Do I have to subscribe? I was able to watch this for free the other day. Okay, to move that, I have to subscribe. It's okay. So let's leave that for now. I'll go subscribe another time. And let's zoom out and let's go take a look at Iran right now. Guys, this is the world. And here is Iran. And damn, it's clear. There is almost... there are some planes now in Iran. So this is Iran. You can see, look at these planes here going around. So you can see this was clear not too long ago. So it looks like the airspace has been opened up and there's some travel taking place as we speak. Let's see the chat here. It says, been hearing we're ramping up air assets and tankers on the move. Yep, I have heard the same thing. I've also heard that we got some big ships moving around closer to Iran. Big ones. So I kind of I'm starting to sound like Trump now. Big. The biggest. They're moving billions and billions and billions and billions. Let's look at Tehran, dude. So guys, I want to just, now that we're looking at this, I'm going to show you a little bit about Iran. So this is obviously Iran, all of this bad boy here. And then Tehran is this area right here. These mountains, this is obviously you could tell this is a mountain range here. And Tehran is tucked right at the foothill of these mountains. It's surrounded by mountains. So if you look at Tehran here, you could see it's surrounded by these mountains. You get 4 seasons in Tehran. And when people in Tehran, when they go vacation, they take this road that you see right here all the way up through, and they land into this place up here. They call it Shomal, which is north. It's the word they use for the north. And so this is the Caspian Sea right here. And what Persians do, this is since the beginning of history, when, Persians in Tehran, whenever they get any kind of time off, they all jump in their friends' cars and families' cars, and they drive up to this place. And I've done this because I've been there 3 times in my adult life. And they come up. It's called Jadde Chalus. Chalus is this location you just see right here that says Chalus. That's also the name of the street. I'm sorry, the whatever you call a road that goes through the mountains. It's got some really cool tunnels. Actually, I've been in there, and you end up. It opens up into this area in front of the Caspian Sea, and you got this beautiful, lovely area that's along the ocean, and that's where people go vacation. Now, we're watching this closely because, as State Line just said, a lot of things are moving around. A lot of military movement is taking place. And it's not just the United States. It's also Israel. And that girl that we saw on this screen, sorry, which screen was it? Oh, I think I passed her screen already. Where's her screen?
I just saw a report from someone who tries to tell us the situation inside Iran almost every night. He has access to a Starlink, and he keeps moving. And basically, the internet is still cut out. All communication lines are cut out because even though, despite all the massacre, all the killings, the protests, or I should say the revolution at this point, it's still going. People are still so angry. And some of the few people who have access to Starlink still can't use it enough to be able to send material out because they have to keep moving. And they literally have regime forces that are going around with a Wi-Fi device with their motorcycles. They're going around and try to detect Wi-Fi. And anywhere they detect Wi-Fi on their device, they go and attack the person or the store or the house or the people wherever they are as soon as they detect Starlink. So they're even attacking people who have Starlink. So they're really trying to keep us in the dark, keep the people inside Iran in the dark, to make sure if the crown prince is, calling out for something, that they won't get the message for us. But he also said that their only hope is us. Their only hope is the diaspora, and their only hope is the international community to help. And I just wanted to report what he said in Persian and to ask anyone and everyone to please be their voice.
Guys, I was just kind of searching for someone else's page, and this is what I really wanted to do, was just go to my feed, because in my feed is just full of people giving updates. So let's just scroll a little bit and see what we come across. Instead of being mad at ICE, be mad at these 2 morons for letting
our wishes have finally been granted.
For letting 20 million unvetted illegals into the country. Big waves in Italy. Holy cow. You trying to do a 20-point turn right there? Holy cow. All right. Woman who went through one vape a week diagnosed with cancer at age 21.
A week ago, Renee Good was tragically killed while defending people like the people today
With the shovel.
who were shot while attacking ICE with a shovel. That's what we are seeing right now. Exactly the kind of people that the Democrats writ large and the ICE Watch and all of the people who have such a problem with ICE arresting these absolute degenerates, this is what they are defending. Tim Walz put out a video recently, I believe it was today, in which he said, ICE is going door to door arresting our neighbors of color. And that is the sleight of hand that the Democrats have been doing over and over and over again, to act like people who are here illegally, who have committed very serious crimes, who should not be here, in the best case are driving down wages for working class Americans, in the worst case are pedophiles and murderers and other sorts of degenerates, that these are neighbors of color, as if this is like, you know, your neighbor who's of Hispanic descent or your black neighbor. They are erasing the difference between citizen and non-citizen in order to perpetuate this very dangerous situation and to get in the way of ICE actually doing what the American people voted for Donald Trump to do. So what we're
Toyota's chairman claimed electric cars are actually worse for the environment than hybrids.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We are back. Plastic. We are back. Yes, we are back.
Illegals help Democrats win elections, but many people don't realize illegals counted in the census also give Democrats extra House seats. We all know that. So the entire Democrat power structure depends on illegals and fraud. This is why, yeah, we know that already. All right. This just goes to for those liberals that say CEOs don't do anything. But let's take a look and see what the hell is going on. Oh, this is good to know. Dry saunas have been shown to eliminate microplastics in sperm and blood by up to 86% by helping the blood flush out contaminants that normally accumulate over time. That's phenomenal. I do 30-minute sauna sessions 2 to 4 times a week, 30-minute sessions. So that's really good because I'm trying to have kids within a year.
Gathering, protests, the staccato of dushka bursts, people shrieking and slogans in the street. I opened the window briefly. The smell of gunpowder and tear gas was everywhere.
That's the voice of a doctor who just got out of Iran. He's sharing with us his first-hand account of what
drone that's watching. So just watch for a moment. So the blue force is my friendlies. So see that little right-hand corner where it sees behind the containers?
Uh-huh.
They're tracking where the bad guy is. They're tracking where my guys are. And then watch when they go behind the container. So I can actually see through it and watch. Now they're engaging the guy over there and he's down.
Wow.
Imagine a guy's coming over a hill and I want to engage him. So actually I'm going to put on the mission.
This guy is the CEO of a company or many companies who's contracted with our military government, with our military, and he creates some awesome, some pretty awesome things, some awesome products.
Shield. There we go. So this is a system that allows everybody to basically be operating as one combined hive mind where you can all share a view of the world. And by the way, this view that I have, it's shared now with all of the robots as well. So anything I see, like let's see I see someone inside of a building, every drone and every person now sees that person where he is. It's so crazy that I was born at the right time to actually get to build all of this stuff. Drone that's watching, so just watch for a moment. So the
Wild stuff, dude. Wild stuff. Here we go.
Yes, it is, Congressman, except that the Constitution is not an inconvenience. It's not an either or.
Nobody
You
said
can
an
do your
inconvenience.
job and
He have a
practice due
responsibility to deport illegal aliens, and the
Through due
president is
process.
going through that process right now.
We are
And
not
let's be very clear, the previous administration, they abused every process there is under border laws to allow more than 10 million people into the country illegally. And this is a burden on all Americans. And so the president is doing his job. So it is sick to refer to Americans who are ICE agents as Gestapo. Governor, you're wrong. You need to apologize to these agents. They're doing their jobs. They are Americans. They serve this country with honor and decency and respect. Do not diminish their work simply because you tried to make a cheap point that you could tweet. I yield back.
Tonight, I want to share another way you can help. Witness. Help us establish a record of exactly what's happening in our communities. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. So carry your phone with you at all times. And if you see these...
Again, we got another retard mentality. A retard mentality. I don't even know how to say it, bro. This guy's completely fucking stupid. They're all out there with their phones recording. What are you exactly saying right now?
Exactly what's happening in our communities.
What exactly is this idiot talking about? This girl was killed in Iran. 28-year-old Nagin Ghadimi was was murdered a few days ago by the Islamic regime in Iran while out on the streets protesting for a free Iran. Rest in peace, Nagin. This is a wonderful quote. Don't confuse schooling with education. I didn't go to Harvard, but the people that work for me did. AJ is right. Can we film you stealing everybody's money? Guys, if you know me well, you're gonna know, bro. On my shit, you're gonna see a lot of pens. I love writing with fountain pens, and I've had a couple custom made fountain pens, and we'll go through some of those at some point together. Here's a patch. That's a nice looking patch. That's a clean patch, actually. I like that. That's a clean patch. All right, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff. This is Venezuela. I'm not seeing a lot of stuff on Iran right now, guys. So it might be a little bit quiet.
Political tensions today with Iran. As he said, it appears the executions will not happen. Right before he made those comments earlier today, 6 Strato tankers, which are refueling tankers, took off from Al Udeid and headed away from the base. These things are like gigantic flying gas stations. If you were wanting to launch a massive attack, you would want these things in the air so you could refuel multiple aircrafts coming in and out. You could see and hear in Donald Trump's voice when he was talking about these executions and the killings appeared to have stopped in Iran. He doesn't really believe that it's going to stop. Neither do I. Britain has
never put Vaseline anywhere on your skin. It's called petroleum jelly because it's literally made from petroleum. The same stuff used to make gasoline and plastic. Apparently, I'm
Iranian here with another pro tip for anyone who's not from the Middle East. This is it. I'm calling it. This is it. We are in the middle of the Iranian...
If you guys don't know who this is Goldie, Gigi Gamari. and she also does a live stream where she is sharing lots and lots of updates about Iran.
Revolution. After 47 years of Islamic oppression by those terrorist ayatollahs, this is it. Iranians are rising up. Iranians are fighting back. It's full-on civil war in occupied Iran right now. This is the moment that we Iranians have been preparing for the last 47 years since the Islamic Republic occupied our country back in 1979. Iranians are fighting back against Islam. They're fighting back against the Islamic Republic. They're fighting back against Sharia law. It's literally Iran versus Islam. It's absolute chaos in the country right now. But Iranians are fighting back.
Yep.
We are literally witnessing history.
And guys, this brings me to what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me see if this screen, she brings up a great point, and it's a great segue to, let's see, does this work? There you go. So she just said it straight. It's Iran versus Islam. And because it's the Iranian people against Islam, the people on the left in America and across and around the world are not showing. They're not showing what's happening. They're not showing, you don't have mainstream media covering the atrocities like they did with Palestine and Hamas and all that kind of stuff. The people on the left, the liberals, the Democrats, not just in America, but around the world, are in love with Muslims and Islam, and especially if they are terrorists, Muslim terrorists and Islamic terrorists. They have a special place in their heart for them. It's disgusting, but it's the truth. And you guys have seen this, and they're putting it on full display. It wasn't until just like a couple of days ago that they finally showed a few things after people protested outside of their buildings and their headquarters of these places like the BBC, CNN, MSNBC, and stuff like that. More so BBC. And now you're finally seeing some coverage, not a lot, some coverage. When it was Hamas, terrorist Muslims, it was plastered everywhere. There almost was nothing else they were covering but that. They were only covering that. Now they're covering everything, and now finally sprinkling a little bit of Iran atrocities. And mind you, the death toll right now in Iran is said to be 12 to 20,000. In some reports, it's higher than that. So that's why it's a great point that she made, a good segue, because it is Iranian people against Islam. The government of Iran is Islamic regime. It's Islam. That's also why you have all these surrounding Arabic countries not jumping in to help Iran, because the Iranians, the peaceful protesters, are going up against their Islamic regime. So Arabs are very much Muslim, and they benefit from Iran being an Islamic regime because Iran helps them out in a lot of ways. Not only does Iran help Arabs and makes love to Arabs, the Iranian regime makes love to Arabs, especially terrorists, more so terrorists. Actually, if you're an Arab and you're not a terrorist, they don't like you. They're a little upset. They're wondering why. Not only do they love Muslim terrorists, the Iranian regime loves Russia and loves China. Why? Because Islam and the Islamic regime is very much socialist, and they are very like-minded people, them and Chinese and Russian. They're all like-minded people, and they're on the same vibe, they're on the same wavelength. Let me get to some of these live chats. So it doesn't fit liberal propaganda. You're exactly right. Influencers, morons filming themselves doing dumbass shit. Yep. Wait, what did I put here? Add to broad. Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. Remove. Okay, there we go. Islam is like a plague, AJ says. You all see the massive rise in outage, blackout, Black started testing again. Yep. I was going to say because they like the kids. Yeah, they also like the kids. But yeah, guys, Islam. Liberal, lefty, lunatic, liberal Democrats are in love with Islam. And if you're a terrorist, it's extra points. It's wild stuff, guys. Wild stuff.
History in the making. What's happening right now in occupied Iran, I'm telling you, this is going to be bigger than the fall of the Berlin Wall. The fight's not over yet. We're literally in the final battle right now. This is the final push. Pray for Iran. Pray for Iranians. We're literally fighting for our existence right now because it's now or never. And now you know. Iranian here with another pro tip for anyone who's not from.
What's up, Hans? Hans says communism, socialist tendencies almost always fall in line with government overthrow. Burkina Faso is right now seeing a Marxist leader take over using Islam and socialism. Yeah, dude. Yep. This dude here says, I'd have to guess about 95% of Americans who mainstream media call far right want only to work for a living, keep most of their money, raise their kids in peace, get them a good education.
All right, guys, I got some.
Without left-wing indoctrination, own a nice home, and be left alone. You know, extremists.
Breaking news. Iran has closed its entire airspace in preparation for an imminent attack. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and it looks like it's coming to fruition. The U.S. Navy is in position. Stratotankers are in the air. Are we about to see a massive aerial assault on Iran? We're about to find out. Drop a follow, subscribe on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube.
Okay, this is a letter from Gugush. If you guys remember yesterday, I was showing you a video of her son. So Gugush is like the Madonna or like the Michael Jackson of Iran or of Persians. She's a singer, the most well-known singer. And I'm getting called. So I'm going to cut this soon, but this is a letter from Gugush. I'm going to read this to you guys. It says here, I write, Dear Mr. President. So she's writing this to Donald Trump. It says, to the Honorable Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Dear Mr. President, I write to you as an Iranian artist who once lost her voice to the Islamic regime. Today, I'm pleading with you, Mr. President, to act on the promise you made. The Iranian people are being slaughtered by the Islamic regime. Credible estimates suggest that between 12,000 and 20,000 lives have been taken in just a few days. I respectfully urge you to stand with the Iranian people, to work with Prince Reza Pahlavi, and take urgent, decisive action. For 47 years, this regime has chosen war over welfare and ideology over life. It chanted death to America as hospitals collapsed. It took American hostages instead of building schools. It screamed death to Israel while Iran's river dried up and its economy crumbled. Billions were poured into missiles, Hezbollah, and foreign proxies while Iranians endured poverty, blackouts, water shortages, censorship, imprisonment, and mass emigration. Today, defenseless people inside of Iran are crying out to you, asking for your help as they face these ongoing crimes against humanity. Mr. President, I hope you will help me. Mr. President, I hope you will help my people and be the first in 5 decades of the United States leadership to stand unwaveringly with the Iranian people, and in doing so, help renew the historic relationship that once existed between our two nations. With hope for the liberation of Iran and the history of its courageous youth. Respectfully, Gugush. I am so excited, guys, to see what can come from a free Iran and the relationship between America and Iran and a more peaceful Middle East and a more peaceful world that we live in. I can't wait for that. I'm excited for it. My heart goes out. My heart's broken for all the Persians, Iranians who have lost their lives and are going through hell right now to get their freedom and to free themselves from Islam. Guys, thank you for joining me on the live stream. I'm going to call it a night, and I'm going to come back and join you guys tomorrow. That was a great live stream, and we're going to end it there. And hopefully this is the final push. Hopefully these are the final moments, and hopefully Iranians will be free very soon. Guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for subscribing. State Line, America's Janitor, Hans, Carrie, Jose, everyone. Guys, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. Louis, thank you. Love you guys. And hope you guys enjoyed the horizontal live stream today. I'm going to probably be doing more of that. And Hans, thank you for being here, bro. Thank you, man. You are the man. You guys are all great. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Peace.